things I need to do. First of all, I've got to finish this seam, which joined the two pieces together. I've kind of tried to do a flat felt seam, but I think I did it wrong. But we're going to fold it over and seam it anyway, and it'll be fine, I'm pretty sure. The next thing we're going to do is seam this edge. A nice chalk line there. You can see it quite easily. Now all we've got to do is cut this along it. There we go. Oh, it's so hard because it's slightly curved. And just one short on the end there, but I'll sort that out as I go along. So let's get this sewn up. There we go, that's that done. Really went really well, that one did. So now I'm going to go and do the sort of felled flat seam along the join of the two pieces of fabric, and then we're going to move on to the next job. It's a finished product, so it's like you can see it's there and it folds over and folds over the other side. It's just a bit higgledy-piggledy in places, but you know what, it's going to be strong and it's going to work. If I wanted to, I could put one more stitch over this side to make sure this seam is down. But to be honest with you, there's so much stitching in this already that I'm not going to bother doing that. So that's the seam done. That is one of the hardest sewing jobs. That is the hardest sewing job I've ever done. I think it will be okay. Just really printed this. Now you can see this side's really shiny. And that should really stick well on there. I mean, you can see how well that sticks. So the first thing we're going to do, oh my God, that sticks well, is just see how well it sticks on this side. This is slightly rougher. And we're going to see if it sticks on there as well. Yeah, not quite so well. But what we're going to do then is stick that on there, and then the other side, I think what we'll try, because we may as well, we'll try and put a little bit of VHB tape on the bottom of this, so we don't use the screws, but it is screw ready, and then that way, if the VHB doesn't hold, then at least we can then screw it down as well. We'll just trim that a little bit around these edges. There we go. So we'll take that to the boat, slap that on the centerboard top, and hopefully we'll have a little computer on the boat then. Hey, how times are changing. We've got a parcel. To be honest with you, I get really excited about these parcels, and they are an acquired taste, if you like. Anyway, it's the latest delivery from ECF Composites. I've noticed my West Systems epoxy is getting quite low, so there's a new, let's try and show you, put that knife, that's a new 105 5 kilo, which I found to be, I think anything more I'm just gonna go off, anything less I'm gonna have to buy loads more. So let's get that out of the box for you and show you. One of it, oh, that's a pretty well battered can of 105, but it'll work, I hope. The other thing we've got in here is interesting. Right, this is peel ply. Now, I've never used peel ply, but loads of people obviously use it a lot online. So I thought it was time to take the plunge, because I've got a few projects that I think are going to need some peel ply. So let's just have a quick look at this one. You can get peel ply in all shapes and sizes. And, oh yeah, it's basically fibreglass, but I think it's treated, it's very finely woven. and you get it in all sorts of widths and lengths and everything. And what you do, you stick it on top of your fibreglassing when you're doing that, and then you leave it to cure with this stuck and wetted onto it. And when it's cured, you just pull this off, and it's, yeah, you see those videos where loads of people are like pulling them off, and it's quite satisfying. And what this does, it does two things. It's intended to be used in between layering, so you can do 1, 2, sometimes maybe you get away with 3 layers of fiberglass in one sitting. Put a layer of this on, peel it off after cured, and it presents you with a ready surface to continue epoxy layering on top of, fiberglass layering on top of. Somehow it gets rid of all the amine bleaching effect, and also you don't need to sand. So that's a benefit of this. The other thing that it does is when you want a finished surface. So instead of what I've been doing with my battery box, where I've been sort of applying the fiberglass and then letting that cure, and then applying a layer of epoxy over the top until it's sort of smooth, but it's not. It's smooth, but it's wobbly and bumpy. Now that doesn't matter for a lowly little battery box that's going to spend all its time in the transom locker. But when you're doing something like Mochyn's new skeg, I want it to look perfect. So I bought some 300ml and I bought some 150ml. I think that should be. And the more you buy, the better value it is. So, you know, I think I ended up with 100 meters of this stuff here. Yeah. And you can layer it, you know, you can do little bits and layer it up and add them together. And so, you know, we're going to explore that. The other thing I've got is some West Systems 205 fast hardener, which is also dented to high heaven, but there we go. Hopefully still works. And then I got just a little bit, that doesn't feel like it's got anything in it, but I got a little bit more of Fast Systems hardener. Should have been the 1 kilo, that should have been, but there we go. We'll have to double check that. And that's it. Very exciting if you're into epoxy and fiberglass and that kind of thing, but otherwise probably not very exciting at all. This is an Anchor. I love Anchor products. They're really good quality, and this has got like an IQ and a normal USB-A port, and you can get fast charging for your Mini 3 drone with this. But the reason I got this one and not the DJI one is, firstly, no one seems to have the DJI one in stock, but this one's got a slightly higher wattage, and it'll give that wattage over the 2 USBs, so I can charge I can charge 2 things, which is very useful when you're camping or on the boat. So I've got like my handset, I could, my remote controller, or maybe my mobile phone as well. And this will actually charge my mobile phone a bit quicker if I need to as well. The other novel thing about this is, look, I love that, because if with UK plugs especially, if you're going to break anything, you're going to snap these legs off. So the fact that folds up is brilliant. It will stow away really nicely.